The preloaded calendar is a concept that I have been using for a while. The main idea of it is to plan and overview the whole year on a single page. Think of it as an empty jar, the jar of life. If we start filling it with unimportant things, then we don't get time for the things that are actually important to us. So instead, we start filling it with the big rocks, the crucial things that we don't want to miss out. Then we complete the jar with the gravel. So the preloaded calendar makes it very easy to keep an eye on those important events that we don't want to miss out. In this video, I'll show you how to build such a calendar in Excel, and along the way, I'll show you some interesting Excel tricks. Let's get into it. We will start off by writing the year in cell A1. Under the year, we will start introducing the months of the year by using the date function. We will select the year from cell A1, and then we will add the month manually and also the day, so it will be 1 and 1. Now we will format the date a little bit, so we will display only the month, and to do that we will write in the custom formatting M. So we will display only the whole name of the month. Under January, we will start adding the rest of the months by using the EDATE function. This function adds a number of months starting from a date. So our start date will be January, and we will add 1 month. We will need to copy the formatting of cell with January to get the proper formatting for the rest of the months, and then we can drag down the function. The next thing is to add the days of the week, starting from cell B1, and we will use the short format of the days of the week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. The next step is to add the first day of each month in the right column. So January 1st, what day would it be? Is it a Monday? Is it a Tuesday? Is it a Wednesday? We will need to figure that out. And to do that, we will use a combination of functions. And we will start with the text function. So let's go to cell B2 and write text. This function converts a date to a specific text format. So we will choose the date from January because it's actually January 1st, and we will lock the column A, and the format text we are going to use is day. So that will mean the short version of the day of the week. The next part will be to add an if function that will check either the first day of the month is one of the days from the first row. So we will say if the day of the month equals to B1, and we will lock the first row, then write in 1. And if it's not true, then write in nothing and enter. So it seems that 1st of January is a Monday. We could drag this function down and then to the right. So we see that February 1st, it's a Thursday. 1st of March, it's a Friday. 1st of April, it's a Monday. And let's compare it to an actual calendar to check it either it's true. So it seems right. So let's get to the next step. Now we need to complete the rest of the days of the month. Let's go to cell C2. And here we will also add the combination of functions. We don't need the previous function, so we will delete it. And instead we will start with the EOMONTH function. Date will be January, and we will lock the cell A2, and we will add 0 months, so we will get the last day of January. For now we got a random number, but that's because it's not formatted as a date. We will leave it like that, and we will add another function called day So this function will extract into a text the day of a date. So we got 31. And the next step is to add an if condition that will increment the days of the month based on the previous day, and it will stop when the function will get to the last day of the month. So we will say if b2 plus 1. It's plus 1 because we are going to use this trick to increment the day count. So whenever the day will get to 31, the next cell filled with this function will be blank. And then we will say if it's less or equal to the day and year month function, then make it b2 plus 1. And if it's false, then fill it with nothing. So we got the second day. Let's try and drag the function. It seems that our columns width is too big, so let's try and resize it to 5. So now it's better. So we got to 31. If we start filling it further, we get this empty cell. So that's the reason we used this cell plus 1 thing. So let's drag the function to the other months as well. So the next step is to delete these errors. To do that, we could go to Find and Select, go to Special, Formulas, unselect everything except errors. So it's selected. The errors, let's right click and delete. What we could do next is to fill the rest of the days. So let's check it once again if the calendar is right with the days. So 1st of January it's a Monday, 1st of February it's a Thursday, 1st of March it's Friday, Monday, February got 29 days. So it seems the calendar is right. The next thing to do is to copy the days from the calendar and paste them as values. So we got rid of the functions. And let's try and convert the calendar to date. You can see that we have the month written wrong and also the year, but the days are okay. And to correct that, let's go under the calendar and let's write the months in a number format. Let's write in 1 and we will need to change the formatting from custom to general. And now drag the cell down and press Ctrl. Now we will insert the date function and we will select the year from cell A1 and we will lock the cell. We will select the month from cell A16 and we will lock the column A, and we will select the day from B2 and enter. Let's select the columns and resize the width. Let's try it 13. And now let's drag the function to the right. So it seems we got 31, then we got an error, and then we got also some values in here. We don't like that, so we'll need to fix the function. What we could do is insert a condition that will check either the cell with the date it's a blank or it has something. So we will say is blank B2. So it will give us a true or false, and then we will use the if function to check either if the cell B2 is blank, then write in nothing, and if it's not, then get the content from B2. Okay, now we close the round bracket and enter. Let's try it once again. So we got to the day 31 and all the other cells are filled with an error. We will leave it like that because we could go to special and select only the errors and then delete them. So let's drag the function down and to the right. We can see that the dates are properly written now. So what we could do is to find and select, go to special, formulas, unselect everything except errors. And now the errors are selected. Then go to clear and clear contents. So now everything is clean and neat. We can copy this and paste it as values. So now we have all the dates written properly. Let's delete these rows. We don't need them anymore. And let's format the date from here because we don't need the whole date. We need just the day. So we will right click, go to format cells, go to custom, and here we will write just D. So this way we will get only the number of the day. Let's select again the rows and resize them. And now we got the full calendar. It is left to style the calendar a little bit. We could copy the days from here and paste it under, and we could do the same thing for the months. We could paste it in here as values, and let's also copy the formatting. So what we could do next is to make the days more visible. So we could add a blank row under each month. So now what we can do is to highlight the weekends. And we could also create borders around the cells with the days so we can make them more visible. We could select the whole range containing the days, go to find and select, go to special, constants, and unselect everything except numbers and OK. Now go to borders and all borders. Now what we can do is to add a little bit of conditional formatting. So we will highlight the current day and we will highlight in a different ways all the past days. So let's select again the range and go to conditional formatting, go to highlight cell rules, and then a date occurring, and select today. And let's do a custom filling by filling it like this. And OK. So now the current day is highlighted. Now let's highlight the days that are in the past. So let's highlight again the range, go to conditional formatting, new rules, use a formula, and here we will write some functions. We will use the AND function, where we will say that if B2, we will be starting from the 1st of January, it's less than today, then format it. And also if B2 is not blank, then format it something like this, and with a white font like this. So what we can do next is to add those big rocks to our jar. To do that, we can just add some notes to a cell. And then highlight it. So here you can add to the calendar the notes with those important events, and then you will need to manually highlight them in a way so you could see them easily. And note that if we go into the past and we try to add a note and then we want to highlight it, it won't work because conditional formatting has priority over normal cell filling. If checking the calendar is not your thing, you can always print out the calendar and pin it somewhere. Then you can cross manually the passing days. If you enjoyed the tricks that we use to get the calendar done, check out this video where I present some more interesting Excel tricks.